Hey, you! I need you to hit the subscribe button below.
Now, we're going to go back to some laws, all right? Because you have kids? You got one? Did I live with you?
Nah, she made it correctly. So I had her for 8 years, but I had to let her go.
Okay.
Like I got her, she in foster care system. Mom in prison, she in foster care. Mom having sex in front of her. So once she did that at 9 years old, she been having sex since 9 years old, I can't do nothing with her. She's 13 now. She just left at the beginning of this year. Okay. So once I found out all of this, it was like she started acting up. I disciplined her. She went to school. People told her, hey, don't go to school. Like, my brother girlfriend was like, don't go to school.
Yeah.
You got some money, so it wasn't that bad. But I got a misdemeanor. I'm on probation for it right now. And I told her, keep doing what you do. I'm going to have to do what I do because I can't just let you go. Like I say, spare the rod, spoil the child.
Right.
If you don't do that, then you don't love the child.
Right.
But I ain't doing everything. Shit, you do. But still, I told her, if you go there, I'm not going to come and get you. And don't bother me coming when you're 18 because I think in the future, you probably going to want some kind of vengeance or something. But I know she was the type of person, she got the way this world working, Instagram and all this that she did on. She
into that. Yeah.
She got herself and all of that.
Yeah.
Which is why I did that, because she was sending pictures of herself. These are my pictures I should have done there. Nobody I know been through this situation. So I told her, don't come looking for me when you're 18.
All right, all right.
Deep.
Yeah, that is deep, and that's a major problem that we have in our communities.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna get something on that because it's very important. You want to have some more kids?
Yeah, not with these laws and this land, I can't. I don't want to give it a chance.
Well, you have protection if you obey the laws of God, right? This is, like I said before, this is our protection, right? And there's something very important about child rearing. I don't have children yet, but the Bible instructs on how to raise our kids. We're gonna get it for you. Read Proverbs chapter 22 and verse 6. All right.
Book of Proverbs chapter 22 and verse 6. Verse 6. Train up a child in the way he should go.
It said train up a child from when they knee high. As soon as they pop out the womb, you need to train them up in the way they should go. How they should go? The ways of the commandments. Understand? Read.
Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it.
So when they become older, right, they will not depart from that thing. It's very important because the Bible is a spiritual book. All right, let me actually get that in Psalms 19 and 7. The Bible is a spiritual book. By keeping these laws, you change yourself, slowly but surely. And even your daughter, if she repents, if she decides to keep God's laws and you enforce them things, she can change as well from that wicked behavior. Because you know what? You know where she gets that kind of stuff from? Aside from the sex, it's reinforced in society. Cardi B, she does that kind of thing, right? Megan Thee Stallion, Doja Cat, those women that are at the forefront of our community, teaching our young women to do such things, that's where they learn that from. But their first example needs to be where? In the scriptures, all right? Read.
Book of Psalms chapter 19 and verse 7. The law of the Lord is perfect.
It says it's perfect. Read.
Converting the soul.
It does what?
Converting the soul.
It changes your soul, the inside of you. You know what I'm saying? And you'll be able to see the outer change from the change on the inside. Understand, a lot of us up here, we either didn't have beards before this thing, or we had marred beards, meaning we had chin straps, right? My brother right here was walking the chin strap. He loved that thing. You know what I'm saying? But now, we keep God's laws, our spirit changed, so you can see how it changes on the outside. Before this truth, I couldn't even grow facial hair like that. But you see, through keeping of God's laws, look at that. You know what I'm saying? It ain't perfect, you know what I'm saying? I still got patches and all. But it changed over time, right? The fringes, right? Those changes as well. We are seen as men of God. People out in the streets, they recognize us, say, hey, you an Israelite. You know why? Because they see the change in us, you see? Even some of our family members, they don't deal with us no more because we don't do, even some of our friends in the world, they don't deal with us the same way. Why? Because of the changes that we made in our personal lives. All right? And that's what's going to happen when you keep these laws, when you tell your children to keep these laws. All right? Psalms 19:7. Read.
Book of Psalms chapter 19 verse 7. The law of the Lord is perfect, converting the soul.
Changes you. Read.
The testimony of the Lord is sure.
Meaning it's gonna do these things, read.
Making the wise the simple.
Making what?
The wise the simple.
Making wise.
Make wise the simple.
The simple, right? We changed from simple-minded people only thinking about the next lick we gonna hit or the next girl we gonna get, to what? Oh, how can I bring this out to my people? How can I give my children the understanding on the Bible, right? How can I raise up my daughter or my son to be men and women of God, right? That's what changes us. All right, let me get Sirach 42 and verse 9, right? Sirach chapter 42 and verse 9, because we're digging into that thing, all right? Because it's a very heavy thing as a father to deal with a daughter. That's what we're about to get into right here, okay? Read.
The book of Sirach, chapter 42 and verse 9. The father waketh for the daughter when no man knoweth.
Meaning, like, some of our fathers, when we had sisters, right, they stayed up thinking about our sisters, right, their daughters. Read.
And the care for her taketh away sleep when she is young, lest she pass away the flower of her age. And being married, lest she should be hated.
So, teaching our children these laws, right, are going to keep them from passing the flower of their age, right, and being hated by their husbands, because we're going to teach them. You need to be with a man that keeps God's laws. Right. Understand? You're going to be with a man who knows how to obey God so that he will treat you right. Because I don't give a damn about how much you fear the men. If you don't fear God first and foremost, you're not going to do my daughter right. So that way she's going to end up with all types of trauma. She might end up with in a single parent household, right? And we need to teach our daughters these things from how young? Train up a child in their youth so that when they old, they will not depart from that thing. So when they get to the age where they thinking about marrying a husband, they be like, my daddy told me to stay away from brothers like that. He always trying to hit a lick. He always with the wrong crowd. He always smoking and drinking. I can't deal with nobody like that. But nowadays, you see our sisters, they want a hood nigga. They want a hood brother, right? Even the educated ones, they want a roughneck. That's what they say. I need a soldier. They can get soldiers, but they can get soldiers of God. You understand?
That's right.
Keep reading.
In her virginity, lest she be defiled and gone with child in her father's house.
So that says it's a defilement to be having a child in your father's house, meaning when you're young. Yeah, well, at the right time, right? It says in her virginity. Virginity just means of marriageable age. But you're not supposed to be having women having children while they still under their father. They need to have children once they're married and under their husband. Right. Understand? Keep reading.
And having a husband, lest she should misbehave herself.
Right, because if she's not taught the ways of God and she gets a man of God potentially, but she's acting a fool instead of him. Read.
And when she is married, lest she should be barren.
So Most High bring punishments on certain people if they wicked, if they're not following the commandments. Let me get Sirach 7 and 24. We're going to precept last scripture, because it's very important what we're getting into, all right?
Bring it out.
All right? It's very, very important what we're digging into right now. Sirach chapter 7, verse 23.
Sirach chapter 7 and verse 23. Hast thou children?
If you have children, right, read.
Instruct them and bow down their neck from their youth.
So bow down their neck, meaning make sure you're strict about keeping these laws. Make sure they understand the importance of what it means to be men and women of God. Read.
From thy truth. From thy youth. Hast thou daughters?
Hast thou what?
Have a care of their body.
It says have a care of their body. Meaning watch out for them, because a lot of brothers, and I was like this when I was young, I was just trying to hit it and quit it. Right. A lot of us did these things when we was in the world, but that's not right, because the Bible say if you hit it, you can't quit it. You gotta keep hitting it because you gotta marry her. You understand? That's what the Bible dictates. That's how we keep these single parent households from happening. If we apply that in the black community, I wouldn't have to worry about the next man trying to get with my woman. You understand? But we got a lot of that going on in our communities, do we not? Read.
And show not thyself cheerful toward them.
Show not thyself cheerful, meaning everything they do, that's not cute. You want to be over here twerking? Stop that. That's not right. You want to be over here trying to put all kind of makeup on and dress sexy so you can entice men? Stop that. That's not right. That's what it's getting into. Is that it on that? Oh yeah. Oh no. It's the most important part right here. Read.
Marry thy daughter, and so shalt thou have performed a weighty matter.
That's it. That's a heavy thing, the Bible is saying. It's a heavy, heavy thing to marry your daughter off and have them given it to another man, because you are putting them in the hands of that man now. Their whole entire future, whether or not it goes right or wrong for them, is dictated by the man that they stay with. All right, read.
But give her to a man of understanding.
Give her to a what?
Give her to a man of understanding.
Meaning he understands these laws, he understands the Bible, he understands the fear of God, and then, and only then, will he have the privilege of getting your daughter. You understand? And you didn't teach the man. If you have a son, teach him to be that man that is the man of understanding in the Bible, all right?
I probably have to move to Africa. I'm thinking about going over there to a land where it's different, you know, where they actually have respect, and I can
You can teach it, because understand, all of us have children. This man just had a son. You understand? It's the same thing. It's the same thing in them countries. Because Babylon's, if you read the Bible, Babylon the Great is what it calls America. Their influence is all over the world. It's not just in America. It's not just in America. So them ideas are prevalent throughout the whole world. They might be less so in certain areas, but you can't be afraid to raise people here, because you got to be that example. You got to be that first line of defense and say, "Nah, we're cutting that stuff off." But you know what helps that? Being around believers. Let me get last scripture, all right? Yeah, I know. See, you got to go. It's gonna be a short one. I ain't gonna read a bunch of verses on you. Zephaniah chapter 2 and verse 1. This is how you're able to save yourself, right, from the influence of the world, right? Read that. The book of Zephaniah chapter 2 and verse 1.
The book of Zephaniah chapter 2 and verse 1. Gather yourself together.
Do what?
Gather yourself together.
Hung around with like-minded people, because if the only examples that your daughter grows up with or your son grows up with is people like us, because when I have children, I'm not letting them go to public school. My wife is gonna stay home. She's gonna homeschool them bad boys and girls, right? Because the influences of America are wicked as hell. They're gonna learn all types of bad stuff at school. Because I learned it at school. I know how it is, right? But also being around men and women like us. All these men's wives, guess what they wear? They don't wear pants. They don't wear booty shorts. I don't get to see their cleavage hanging out. They wear dresses. They wear skirts. They wear modest clothing so that they can be righteous examples for the women underneath them. All the men, guess what? We act like men. You ain't gonna see no sissy boys around us. Why? Because that's not according to God's law. We raising real men of the Lord to be able to do what God commanded us. Read it again. Gather
yourselves together. Yeah. Gather together, O nation not desired.
Because we are the ones that are not desired in this nation. And that's just not here in America. It's all over the world. No matter where you go, they got a name for you as a nigga. You understand? You go to China, they got a name. You go to Israel, they got a name for you. Even in the land that we're supposed to be inheriting right now, they got a name against you, calling you something else. Akata is in Africa, right? In Israel, they call you Kushi Baba. That's nigga in their language. You understand? That's the same thing. All right, but in order to get yourself right, to be able to make sure that you build up your nation, your people, your children the right way, you got to get together with people who look just like you. They're keeping the commandments just like you. You understand? Hey, yeah, that's what we're here for.
We used to scream Black Power while heroin was pushed, but at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission, minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold, from Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.